I would request you both to stay back on the stage for the second panel discussion for today's conference. Let me now invite and introduce our esteemed panel speakers for panel 2, starting with Mr. Bhushan Badgujar, Head Central Quality and Operational Excellence, Magna Automotive, with nearly 2 decades of diverse experience in strategic leadership, operations management, business excellence, production quality, new product development, and customer service. Mr. Bhushan is a patent inventor and certified professional in project management, Scrum Master, Six Sigma, Business Assessor, TPM, and Integrated Management System. His mission is to lead and transform the business into a world-class organization as a part of the global team by continuously improving business processes and system to deliver superior value to customers consistently. He also oversees the excellence and quality initiatives at manufacturing plants and 20 plus strategic vendors. Thank you, Mr. Bhushan, for joining us today. Our next panel speaker is Ms. Kavita Kaushik, Head Quality and Six Sigma from Cummins. Her 27 years of cross-functional experience spans quality strategy, quality transformation, quality 4.0, operational quality, new product quality, Six Sigma and reliability and zero defect mindset. Ms. Kaushik has also led the various responsibilities for Cummins in the last 15 years, starting with operational quality, supplier quality, Six Sigma Master Black Belt, as well as leading quality for industrial business and power system business. Prior to Cummins, she has worked with Tata Johnson Control and Alfa Lava. A warm welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining us today. Our next speaker is Mr. Krishnan Ramachandran, General Manager, FIAT India, currently responsible for implementing world-class manufacturing system at Powertrain Division of FCA TML joint venture. Mr. Ramachandran's experience spans close to 3 decades. He started his journey way back in 1996 with Ashok Leyland, where he worked for more than 10 years. There, he was responsible for qualitative and quantitative output of engine machining components. His expertise includes Kaizen, PPAP, supplier quality, FMEA, 5S, machining, and TQM, amongst others. A very warm welcome, sir, and thank you so much for joining us today.
We're not hearing any claps for our speakers.
Our next speaker is Mr. Subhabrata Ghosh, President Operations from Battrixx. Mr. Ghosh is an accomplished and result-oriented techno-commercial business leader with 19 years of impressive success record in P&L, profit center, business growth, domestic and import purchase, and so on. His expertise and field of work focuses on 5 areas: production quality, customer purchase, finance, and HR. To his credit, he has completed 3 greenfield projects, including Tata Motors CV manufacturing, EV car manufacturing, and automatic manufacturing setup. A warm welcome, Mr. Ghosh, and thank you so much for joining us. Please give a big round of applause to all our speakers joining us. And now would like to introduce Mr. Vishwajit Singh, Director, Pune Manufacturing Operations from Bridgestone, India. Mr. Singh is a dynamic professional with over 25 years of experience in general management of plant operations. He has successfully steered the entire establishment of Pune plant manufacturing facility with investment of about US $300 million, generating annual revenue of US dollars to 260 million. He has and continues to play a major role in selection and deployment of manufacturing technologies and implementation of strategic manufacturing process. He has also framed up a long-term manufacturing roadmap for future readiness, keeping in mind ESG.
That's it.
Mr. Ghosh, yeah, we're just waiting for you. Thank you for joining us, and over to you, Niranjan, for the second panel discussion. Thank you. We also have Mr. Abhishek Chaturvedi joining us on the panel.
No, that's fine. थैंक यू. स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन तो सबने सुना होगा, स्टैंड अप मॉडरेटर आप देख लीजिए. So, what a power packed panel I have here. सच में डर गया. I've been and क्या experience है इन लोगों का. These are wonderful leaders and I'm really privileged to ask questions to this August gathering here. And thank you so much, panelists, for taking time out of your busy schedules and joining us here. We really appreciate and respect that. अभी प्रोटोकॉल तो ऐसा कहता है we should start with the lady. And we should follow the protocol, right? Yes, and since she is a quality champion and she heads the entire quality initiative for Cummins in India, I think she also deserves to be asked the first question. And the first question will be about her area of expertise. So, Kavita, I'll start with you. What are the key quality initiatives undertaken under your operations? Number one, it says plant because I know you had a lot of plant. And how do you ensure consistent product quality across? Sure. I think very simple question for someone like you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
And ladies first is not by chivalry, but actually based on what ladies have done. Okay, so
absolutely.
Yeah,
a round of applause for that. That's exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so I'll just talk in terms of the overall quality initiatives related to specifically more in terms of what we have in terms of industry 4.0, or now as we stand in the on the brinks of industry 5.0, it's already there. Okay, so around 2 years back, we were looking at it. Cummins product portfolio is changing. Okay, we are moving more from IC engine to hydrogenize. We are moving more towards even batteries now in the future. A lot of things like PICAS is coming. A lot of things like fuel agnostic platforms are coming in. Okay, and at the same time, when you have already the industry 4.0 is well established, and you are looking now with more of interface with humans, interface with machines, interface with environment and everything, which is going to be the overall call for the business and call for everything to be successful in business. So around 2 years back, actually, we made a kind of an overall plan, to start with a plan in terms of if we want to remain abreast in terms of what's happening across the world, what do we need to do from a quality perspective as well. And we chalked out, already I'll tell you, as Cummins last almost 10 years, we started sometime in 2015 and now it's almost 9 years now. We had made our plan of what we called as AMAZE, that is accelerated move towards zero defect. And as we made AMAZE, we started with something which was reactive because there were a lot of issues with respect to the customer where they were not happy with us, to today where more than 70-75% of whatever work we are doing is proactive. Okay, and in terms of the quality capabilities, then we started making a plan, right? In terms of when you look at pillars of AMAZE, we have pillars of AMAZE starting from supplier quality, then we have the plant qualities, then we have the product quality, we have the customer quality, we have the service quality, and we have the leadership pillar as well. Okay, and across these pillars, we started making that if I am looking at an industry 4.0 today and looking at industry 5.0, what do I need to do across? And we brought in a lot of projects where we worked with our suppliers to, whether it is in terms of having the automated SPCs, or in terms of having low cost AIs, in terms of working to create skilled manforce. For example, we also worked how we could ensure that whatever work we do in terms of Six Sigma, really proud to say Cummins, we have a lot of folks who are certified in Six Sigma, and it's a way of life for us how this can reach out to suppliers. So over the last 8 or 9 years, we have been working. And as I said, 2 years back, we made an overall plan in terms of quality 4.0, how it will run across the plants, how it will run across the suppliers, and how at least we want to take it with respect to our product as well. So there is a well-defined plan. It's a work in progress, and we have put in milestones how we need to work along with that.
I have a sub question to that, Kavita. You said you already have a plan in place and you started this journey about 9 years back. considering the various disruptions that we've been going through this 9 years, how have you kind of, remolded the plan, or was it even required?
It was very much required. As I said, last year, the same what we call our accelerated move to zero defect, and which touches across everything, right from the supplier to service. Okay, when it touches, we changed our plan in terms of putting it as an Amaze 4.0. When we say Amaze 4.0, it is focused on Industry 4.0. So everything to do with low cost poka yokes, everything to do with more of how we can do more AI led work inside our plant, more to do with Kobos. There's a lot of places. If you come to Cummins today, most of our plants, obviously, it's good way automated. One part is that there is a automated SPC across. Okay, there is a lot of Kobos which are working along with people. In terms of some of the operations where so things like deburring, things like this, which human dependent safety and also a precision is required. We are using a lot of Kobos. So there's a lot of things, vision systems and lot of things which has made a plan across.
Okay.
And obviously there's still a plan because it's not complete. It's still incomplete. We have some way to go.
All right. Okay. So that's a very insightful answer, Kavita. Thank you for that. The whole conference that we are here today, it's primarily talking about automotive manufacturing excellence. And I have my daughter here. She is in 10th grade. And when I was conceptualizing this event, she asked me, "What is automotive manufacturing excellence, Papa?" I said, "जो अच्छा करते हैं manufacturing में उसको excellence बोलते हैं." So she was not satisfied with the answer. So I said, let me ask that question to my panelists because they are the experts. They'll be able to answer that question in a better way. So I'd like to ask this question to Mr. Vishwajit Singh. How do you actually define automotive manufacturing excellence? And there are three contexts here. The technological advancements that are happening, various compliances that manufacturing companies need to face, and of course, consumer demands are changing rapidly. Whether you are a tier 1 supplier or whether you are an OEM, you still have to deal with the dynamics of consumer demands because they are also answerable to the market dynamics. So,
First of all, thank you, Niranjan, for having me here. Thank you, Manufacturing Frontier. Your question is quite simple, but then it is actual situation is not so simple. We are in a world which is very dynamic, and in this dynamic scenario where you have to deal with all the complexities of the market, economy, within your own internal issues which you face day to day. So the manufacturing excellence really become a journey where every organization, even we at Bridgestone, strive towards to overcome many challenges in end-to-end the manufacturing setup. So the first thing, it starts with I should say a harmonious integration of advanced technologies, which we call today as Industry 4.0, starts from various available cost-effective, starting from automation, or let's say making some good use of some predictive devices or some poka-yoke devices, eliminating most of the repetitive jobs, eliminating the human errors involved in the processes. Then also, we cannot neglect the importance of adhering to the, let's say, compliance standards. When we talk of compliances, this not only addresses to the regulatory requirements, but it goes beyond to the more responsible manufacturers, like going towards the environment-friendly initiatives, sustainability. I will just mention here, we at Bridgestone India Pune plant is the carbon neutral plant. We are 100% carbon neutral today. With our global target is to get it 50% reduction by 2030. But this plant has achieved 100% as of today. And this has came up with the initiatives like biomass boilers. So we have eliminated the natural gas-based fuels completely. We have installed solar rooftops to address our electricity demand converting into green. And also, not only while we try to make it more green, we try to reduce the energy consumption itself, which is the reduction of the pie itself. So a lot of initiatives goes into that direction. We took it as an extension of our as a responsible maker. We at Bridgestone, Bridgestone being a world-class manufacturer, largest manufacturers of tires in the world, we in a Bridgestone 3.0, in a journey of our Bridgestone, we feel that we do not want to recognize ourselves as tire manufacturers, but we want to look ourselves as a mobility solution provider, and that's the journey our company is taking. And as I mentioned, after that, talking about the manpower element is very keen when we talk of manufacturing excellence. How we create an ecosystem or culture where we utilize their power to innovate and kaizen, taking the inputs from the customer preferences, because this journey starts end of the day with the what customer requires, exceeding those expectations, and how do we drive our excellence to address those concerns by utilizing the power of manpower, which starts from operators, middle management, of course the leadership at the end. Rather than putting them into a repetitive jobs, manual jobs, how can we make those systems, processes more efficient, more digital, more data-driven decisions in the line by use of all the latest technologies which are available, and of course making ourselves more lean to eliminate all the non-value-added activities. There, if you see any process, you will find a lot of what we call muda, which is a waste which happens. Even if you have too many meetings in the setup, that is also a waste. So as a leadership, we always strive towards whatever name we give. We used to say Bridgestone Manufacturing Excellence, which was also adopted from world class the companies, and Bridgestone adopted in Europe. But Bridgestone has a two parts. One is more towards west, another towards east. We are right now in the east, and it is more driven by the fundamental Japanese concepts. So the Kaizen, you have some ideal state of everything. We say simply one line that manufacturing is all about standards and discipline. You should have a right standard, like aircraft industry has. Everything has to be a very well driven by standards and discipline to follow this. And over it, you build everything. You give all the supports, technology, education, resources, etc., and you can take this journey. And this happens over a period, not even a 2 day, 3 day. It's a year's journey, never-ending journey, and we towards strive for it.
Very well said. That point about standards and discipline, I think that is what defines excellence at the end of the day, right? Now, I want to see how awake our audience is. So I'm going to ask a question to the audience, and again, there's a prize if you answer the question correctly. But you have to raise your hand, not to give away the answer if you know it. Okay, Kavita spoke about a very interesting initiative that Cummins has undertaken. It is called Amazed. सबसे पहले हाथ प्रीति का आया, not because she is a woman, but because she raised her hand first. प्रीति, आपको आंसर करना है amazed का मतलब क्या है? You have to explain what is amazed.
Accelerated move towards zero defect.
Is that the right answer? Yes. Let's have a round of applause for Preeti. And it would be interesting to know that Preeti actually heads the HR at Steelcase. So coming from an HR person, I think that's a good one, Preeti. And I am sure the other people also knew the answer. Okay, so now I'd like to come to my very good friend Bhushan. We recently connected and we've become very good friends. And I keep complimenting him for his good looks. In Maharashtra, we revere to people a lot. One is, of course, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and the other person is his equally great son, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. And I told Bhushan that if there's a movie made on Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, you should audition for it. You will actually suit that role very well. So, Bhushan, the question is not about your looks. We heard Kavita speak about quality. We heard Vishwajit speak about excellence. So, as a person who heads both these at Magna, I want you to explain to us what is the correlation between quality and excellence, operational excellence to be precise.
So, first of all, thank you for the compliment as well as the opportunity. So when we're talking about the quality and excellence, I think it's the two sides of the coin. Because without the quality, we can't have the excellence. And without the excellence, we can't have the quality and the customer delight. So when we are talking about the quality and excellence, the ultimate objective for any business is to have the sustainable, profitable growth. And to have that, it is very important that how we can have the robust processes, system, at the same time, how we can utilize the emerging technologies like Vishwajit just talked about, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the AI, ML, what we're talking about. Apart from that, I would say the additive manufacturing, that is, the complementing in the current processes, because in the ever-changing market, it's not only important to have the quality, but how we can deliver the product with the lowest cost to our customers, right? So I think it is very important that we have to have the focus on the quality, like Kavita just talked about, how we can have the automated SPC that will ensure the zero defect which is reaching out to the customer. And I'm very impressed with the Amaze program what the Cummins has started, and we also follow the similar way to drive the project delight, where the ultimate objective that how we can delight our customer by not only providing the innovative solution but the services as well. So again, if I summarize, it's both the sides are important to be a competitor in the market. Thank you.
Okay. KR, I'd like to come to you now. You heard a technology leader like Cummins taking different initiatives. You heard a tire manufacturing talking about what they're doing, and you also heard a major tier 1 supplier. Now, I want you to look at these responses as a OEM. You are a OEM player, and you also had world-class manufacturing at FIAT. So how do you look at these responses from the OEM perspective?
हेलो हाँ दिस इज बेटर
OEM की आवाज दबाने की कोशिश करते हैं जब सारे tier 1 एक साथ आते हैं तो.
Thank you, Niranjan, for this opportunity, as well as friends who have all assembled amidst the post-European and post-US vacation. And in September, October, you get a lot of visits in all your organizations. Even now, I was constrained to come over here, for a short time. So this is all happening in the industry. So you have all taken time to, learn something about automotive manufacturing excellence. If you ask me honestly, because the whole school of thought that I have gone through, maybe Kavita has gone through, or Vishwajit has gone through, teaches us it's all about getting ourselves aligned to first Industry 3.0 before we speak about Industry 4.0. 3.0 speaks about automation, robotics, and even prior to that, this TPM came into existence. What is TPM? You all know. Maybe can I get some answers?
Anybody?
Total?
Yes, please.
Sorry? Maintenance. That is total productive maintenance, which was followed when it started in the Japan in as early as 1971, when I was just 1 year old, and now it has
He's given away his age also.
it has taken its journey across the globe through many Japanese professors. The basic concepts of TPM have to be followed on the machine shop, or an assembly shop, or an R&D workshop, because if you do not follow the basic concept of clean, inspect, lubricate and retighten in any equipment, be it your own bike, be it motorcycle, or your car, or your own equipment, then you just can't propagate to a level of Industry 4.0, where you have the integration of many applications and many devices into your results. Results can come only if the basics are all right. So I would urge all of you to go back to your systems and check if you are doing a basic check, basic clean, basic inspection, basic lubrication of your systems, which then can go into the prevention of accelerated deterioration, getting into then forced deterioration. Then you speak about professional maintenance, where you have A, B, C, or classification of systems and machines, where you prioritize parts which can fail at times or which do not fail. And it doesn't make a difference whether it fails or not. So there are A, B, C classification. Then you get into predictive maintenance, condition-based maintenance, time-based maintenance, breakdown. All these can happen only if you clean, inspect, lubricate, and tighten your machines. So that applies, as I told, from in all walks of life. Then comes your zero defect manufacturing. Kavita rightly told about AMAZE initiative in Cummins. We also have mistake proofing, error proofing, fail safing. All these get into the zero defect manufacturing syndrome, where your first time quality, when you take in any part for assembly as well as machining, should be equal to first time quality at out. So the simple methodology that we use in world-class manufacturing or Stellantis production way since 2021 is FTQ in is equal to FTQ out. If that is there, then your quality gates will, what is quality gate? Quality gate is a policing at the end of your lines. So do you really need a police at the end of your line? Will decide your FTQ in is equal to FTQ out. So this is very important. When you establish these quality gates are dynamic in nature. Whenever you have issues, you need to put them and then you can retrieve or withdraw them. This should be dynamic in nature so that you can deploy whenever it is required. This is about quality gate. Then coming to error proofing and error proof device verification. I spoke about mistake proofing, error proofing, and fail safing. When error proofing stops the defect, but mistake proofing does not allow the defect to go ahead. This is called as pokayoke in Japanese, right? So you all have examples. Maybe if I ask one of you, two of you will be coming out with mistake proofing examples, pokayoke examples, or error proofing also, fail safing also. Fail safing is the worst thing that can happen. So that is stopped by any device which detects. So what we are speaking about in Industry 4.0 is all about detection. But what we should actually do is about prevention, following Industry 3.0 and also the TPM and world-class manufacturing. In this context, what we have done at FIAT, which is a joint venture between Tata Motors Limited and Stellantis Worldwide, is a 50-50 joint venture, which here at Ranjangaon, that's where what I represent. I started working there in 2007, and then we started following the concept of world-class manufacturing in 2021, which migrated to Stellantis production way. We have 10 pillars or domains, or 12 pillars or domains as of now, which starts from want to be. Want to be is about what your company can do value addition to the industry or to the country as a whole. So that is your want to be, the strategic goal that you set up for the next 3-4 years. And we have something called as cost deployment. Cost deployment speaks about tapping the losses at the point of generation, be it a machine, be it an assembly stage or a workstation where you are able to tap the losses at the point of generation. These losses can be causal. These losses can also be resultant. Causal losses, for example, if there is a breakdown of a machine, there are all the systems today are interdependent, be it a machine shop, in mass production scenario, be it a machine shop or an assembly, interdependent, from OP10 till OP400, consider, for example. So if there is a breakdown of OP70 of 10 minutes, you call this 10 minutes as a causal loss. And the downstream and upstream losses are certainly going to be there or not. You understand upstream and downstream losses? Clear? The losses prior to the station OP70 and the losses subsequent to the station OP70, or the upstream and downstream losses. If they can be calculated and they can be put shift-wise or hour-wise, and when you can extrapolate them for a plant level, it gives us you a matrix that is called as a loss matrix. The loss matrix, if you prioritize the top 5 or top 3, you all know this 80-20 Pareto principle. Pareto is incidentally an Italian from which this FIAT originates, right? So 80 is about vital few and 20 is about trivial many, right? So when you look at 20% of any chart, this ABC classification, you will get 80% of the magnitude, right? So once you start addressing, then you can get the losses covered. This is first about cost deployment. Then we call safety and health as a domain. Then we have autonomous maintenance, as I told you, this is for forced deterioration, and professional maintenance is for professional is for natural deterioration of the machine. And then we have quality or customer service, we have environment, we have energy, we have logistics that played a the Godrej colleague spoke about logistics, which has taken shape from 1950s to today's ASRS or today's, what is ASRS? Excellent. Automotive storage and stable systems that we have come through in the last 1 or 2 decades that has been in place. So all these are speaking about refinement of external and internal logistics, which will help us get the right material at the right time at the right quantity, right?
Yes.
If even one of this is wrong, then logistics is going to be hit, right? So logistics, customer experience or quality, environment, energy, maintenance domains like autonomous maintenance and professional maintenance, cost deployment, safety, and people development. Last but not the least, people development is very, very important, where people have a spiraling growth, right, from what they are today and what they can't even imagine. There are some HR colleagues over here, so they can understand how they develop people even without their knowledge. They evolve their skills and then make them great professionals. So this is the essence of world-class manufacturing that we have implemented in FIAT India, and we achieved a level up to gold in the year 2019. A notch below gold. Gold level was 70 and we achieved 69 in our powertrain division, and the car division was at 66. So the Stellantis production bay is only a small migration from that world-class manufacturing to this system, which also speaks about ground realities and speaks about daily management, Gemba walks, and also how to be frugally efficient in getting your Kaizens done. Some of the Industry 4.0 improvements may look very, very expensive for you. So I would always suggest that you please derive the benefit over cost or the viability or the return on investment before getting into such projects. And moreover, getting data and just putting it as a dump is not going to help you anymore. So you need to understand which kind of data, which kind of output you want to really improve. For example, overall equipment effectiveness. Maybe there is a different question on that. Maybe I'll dwell now
Sure.
for the next question.
But your answer was like a masterclass for operational excellence. Let's have a round of applause for him.
Thank you.
And I'll have a question for the audience. Okay, again you have to raise your hand. KR spoke about two things very important, and you have to explain it properly. Upstream losses and downstream losses. Who can explain that? भी बहुत आसान क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया अभी थोड़ा जयश्री के पास है जवाब. Another lady, and that actually proves what Kavita mentioned in the beginning.
Cheers to that. So he mentioned about upstream and downstream. Say in a typical assembly line, we are at operation sequence say 17. I'll take your example. Any losses which happens before that is called upstream. Any losses which causes after that operation sequence are called downstream.
Fabulous.
That's the right answer. Compliments.
So all this was leading to that great term which the manufacturing industry thrives upon, OEE. And I bring this question to Subhabrata. Subhabrata, you have had amazing experience in the OEM industry and also in the tier 1 industry. So what kind of strategies would you suggest that companies should implement to improve the OEE? After you reach that one point, you can't stop at that. You need to continuously improve on that. So what strategies would you suggest?
Yeah, hi, thank you. I think we had a very detailed discussion on all the requirement of the operational excellence as well as the automation part. So I will try to touch upon some new points which we have not discussed. So first of all, I was just trying to note down those points. Why automations or excellence in manufacturing is required? First of all, we need to understand why I will invest the time as well as the money. So one is, I think the competition is huge, whether it is OEMs or a tier 1 or tier 2 manufacturers, the competition is huge. So there is a huge pressure on the cost cutting. Especially I am from EV and battery sector, so I can see that there is a huge demand on the cost cutting. So that is one of the reason why you need to go towards manufacturing excellence or automations. Second is there is a agility to accommodate. There is a lot of changes happening in customer demand, whether it is automotive, EV or any other segment. There's a lot of change, uncertainty in the supply chain, lot of dependency on the manpower skill. So that is one of the reason. Sometimes you need to quickly ramp up and deliver. So that is one of the reason where you need automation and excellence. Also to reduce complexity, which is I think is the important one, and also to avoid skill dependency, which we are facing a lot in EV as well as battery segment. So I think we have that co-panelist has already touched upon the requirement of TPM, even the 5S, as well as the fifth test standardization, how it is required. We also, I think the panel also discussed about WCQ, world class quality. So there's a difference between, I think a lot of things, automations are happening in all the OE segments, like the availability of the machines, online quality control, skill management, as well as predictive decision making. So I think we have already touched upon the area where we have discussed about low cost automations. We have discussed about Pokayoke. We have discussed about error proofing and vision control. I will try to discuss the difference between, I have 70% of my career I've worked with Tata Motors and companies like Meritor, and last 7-8 years I'm in EV and battery segment. So there's a difference between automotive and EV segment, because in automotive you have a base where for this you have the troubleshooting history where agar ye problem aa raha hai field mein, this is the reason, or maybe from like for engine also, this is the you have a list of probable causes. Now in EV and battery industry, it's just I'll say 3 years old in India, and you don't have a history of the field. I don't know how many companies, EV companies in India have 100,000 products in field. Very less. Forget about 10 lakhs or it's less than 100,000. So many, I think 90% of the people don't have, EV or battery manufacturer don't have 100,000 products in field. So you don't have the data, field data available with you. Also, it's a new industry, and the difficulty in battery is not a mechanical, it's not a electrical, it's a electrochemical product, where something will happen after the problem may occur after 2 years or 3 years of use, and the problem may be fatal as well, because it's a battery. So there is a lot of issues related to fire incidents and all in two-wheeler, even four-wheeler, even renowned the OEMs as well. So I think it was very challenging because you don't have the history. So in last 7-8 years, I have learned a lot regarding this, because we in Battrixx we manufacture two-wheeler, three-wheeler, as well as four-wheeler as well. Now we started BSS battery also. Although BSS is safety related, is the risk is less compared to the automotive segment. So you need to take care of a lot of things in the two-wheeler, three-wheeler, especially in the four-wheeler, because it's a high voltage product. So we created a lot of, even we are trying to go for a safety audit from a consultant in India. So we hardly find a consultant who have the experience of auditing a battery manufacturing facility in India. So we created, we discussed with one or two consultants who had certain experience. We also asked them that which are the reference they will take, like which are the standards they will refer. So hardly people are able to find out some references, standards related to battery safety, especially on the manufacturing facility. So we also learned a lot during the process. Last 2 years onwards, we are doing at least quarterly or half yearly audit on the safety, and we also created, as somebody was mentioning on the standardization part. So on the fifth S, which is very important, how you standardize your learning. So we also standardize our learning in safety. Like it's a small learning. In case of lithium fire, your alkaline water is the best solution compared to your fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher, you have some specialized fire extinguisher, but alkaline water is the best solution. So it's a practical tryout method. So in just 3 years of time, we ramped up from 5. We are producing 2021. We are producing around 5 batteries a day, and now we are producing almost 1,000 batteries a day. So almost we have created a facility of 3 gigawatt hour with so from day one we were very focused that okay, we will ramp up. So the difficulty, as I was mentioning, that when you are ramping up, it's very important that you create your QMS, you create your safety standards, you create your entire manufacturing processes, whether your SQDCME, all are within control. So we we created some all our. So the best part was mostly the people who are from automotive background. So we created the entire QMS systems, quality gates. We created scanning based mechanism for each segments. So all these quality gates now you can monitor the which even we created some small scanners. If some battery you can't find out the which gate it belongs to, you can just scan the battery number, you can find out which gate it belongs to. So you have the monitoring traceability 100% from cell to BMS to battery level, as well as that which battery has passed which section. So even all these data we created. So from base we created the 100% traceability. Even the now we are working on the skill management, how we can reduce the skill, because getting a skill manufacturer skill for EV and battery manufacturing is difficult, because it's related to safety. One small mistakes can start a fire or major incident. So we created all these systems from our learning, and it was a very unique experience, because in OEMs or standardized company, you have a base, so you know how you can improve from that base to those base. So day to day, kind of SDT mechanism, 5 minutes meeting, working on the what are the SQDCME based improvement, what are the field issues are coming, how you are monitoring and creating a control over it. Even how we can working on the prevention part, on the rather than the detection parts. Small automations, like there's a lot of automations are happening with cell shorting as well. A lot of automations are happening with cell management, inventory management as well, because cell, it's a typical, because the difficult part of is if you mix two cells based on, so there are 4 criteria: voltage, IR, as well as internal resistance, as well as capacity, as well as your date. So you can't mix cells. uh, so you have to make a pack with the stringent norms of all these 4. So you can't only make a pack with only capacity, voltage, and IR. If you miss the time, then it is gone. Then there will be issues in the field. So there is a lot of complexity in the battery as well as vehicle manufacturing, which I think we have standardized a lot through our experience in the manufacturing as well as low cost automations. And we have created a sustainable manufacturing process for battery, and which has helped us a lot to ramp up, and also to have acquire customers like one of the top OEMs. So that has also helped us a lot. Otherwise it's very difficult that you ramp up as well as you maintain quality, efficiency, as well as your brand name.
Thank you, Subhabrata. Thank you so much.
May I, Niranjan? On OEE was the question, right? So we have something called as OEE Maturity Assessment Matrix. This speaks about, again, 10 different best practices which are conducted at the shop floor level in order to either measure your bottleneck, have a debottlenecking program, and make an OPE assessment every shift, and have an integration with real-time OPE measurement and bottleneck display at the workstation where it is really required. And what is again OEE? It is about, can someone tell me what is OEE? Not you. Yeah, it is a product of 3. What are those? Yeah, it is rate of? Yeah, kudos. Huh? Very, very good. Maybe a big round of applause for him. Huh? So, availability speaks about machine maintenance, which I touched upon. Quality speaks about what other panelists touched upon. And the third one is? Yeah, performance is all round. So you need to always focus on what are all the debottlenecking issues that you have taken up, how you are maintaining your equipment, and how you are able to get the right part in right quantity and right quality into your. So all these are very important for getting the OE. So that maturity matrix you can design for your own industry or take from us, and that is the best way to measure, monitor, and improve overall equipment efficiency, which is easier said than done.
Right.
OE is not is a very difficult
Thank you,
matrix.
KR.
Good
I
for
have one more panelist
practice.
who has not given any answer, so I'd like to go to him. But KR, I have a suggestion to you. The way you interact with the audience, you might consider an alternate profession of becoming a professor or a lecturer. Okay. No, the way, because I started my career as a lecturer with Elphinstone College, and मुझे भी आदत थी. I would say something and then ask the student something. So good one on that.
So that I am able to judge how many are really along with us.
Thank you so much. Abhishek, I'd like to come to you, and I want to talk about your area of expertise. I wish you were also part of the first panel, because we spoke a lot about supply chain, and you covered that topic quite extensively in your presentation. It was a wonderful presentation. Now we have these your potential customers here. So I want you to answer a question about how can you help these organizations build a resilient supply chain so that they can, face the market volatility and at the same time focus on their businesses.
Right. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You don't need the hand mic.
So I'll take the example that my co-panelists just used, scaling up from 5 batteries a day to 10,000 batteries a day.
1,000 batteries.
Yeah, 1,000 batteries a day. Maybe one day it will be 10,000 batteries a day.
I'm sure.
So I'll take a cue from that, and then I'll add on another aspect to it of the complexity of one batch having the same date, same chemistry, everything being same. Anything miss out, like it falls flat. The supply chain doesn't happen. So this is exactly what an automation can do, because it is not based on human skills. It is based on something which is already built as a logic in the system, and that is what will give any business scalability. Okay? So that is just one example taking cue from, which is very, very practical, which we just spoke about. Now let's take it to a level. When we talk about resilient, it is about unknown changes. And during one of the sessions, I was just having a discussion with one of the members here, that one of our customers in a tea business, when they started up, they defined their problem statement as, we have 70 SKUs to handle, multi-thousand distributors across the country, single plant, we want to handle that complexity. Now, today, because of competition, the same tea company is forced to bring in from 70 SKUs to 250 SKUs in a span of 7 years. What happens is, now the supply chain has to gear up. Now, every time you cannot invest in another set of processes, another set of systems and mechanisms. So the same automated system with a change in logic was able to scale up from handling 70 SKUs to 250 SKUs by some change in logic. And the third bay was opened up, the third docking bay was opened up to handle those additional number of distributors which came in. A small intervention of maybe 2-3 conveyor lines was all that was needed to manage that scalability. So that's the second example of resilience. Third is what I captured in my presentation was about this quick commerce that is coming in, and the daily needs of daily essentials, and a very, very dynamic mix that we all demand from our customers. That is another complexity, or the resilience that is handled by an automated system. So I hope these examples are able to explain in brief how we can help supply chain become resilient.
Okay. You also talked about something called as vibe, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask one of your colleagues to explain that because I'm quite interested in that. So
Right.
maybe after this we can look at something on that, right? Okay. So we have just barely 3.5 minutes, and I have 6 panelists. Big task. And they have spoken only one, given only one answer so far. But nevertheless, we had a very good session so far, very insightful. I'm going to give each one of you 30 seconds to give your mantra of operational excellence, starting with Bhushan. And please remember the time constraints.
I think in the operational excellence and in the business itself, I think the one of the key aspect is that first I always see that the excellence part is not only for the customer, for the internal stakeholders. So when we want to satisfy or delight our stakeholders, so the two aspects is very important. One is the stakeholder management, and second is the communication management. So when we are a part of the excellence team, it's not only we have to drive from the top, but from the grassroots level also. So it is very much important how you drive the change into your day-to-day activities. And for that, I think these two things are very important in the excellence. Thank you.
Well said. Kavita?
So for me, operational excellence, as I look at it, is the TQM, total quality management, and it moves what it can give us to a zero defect mindset. That is what is very important. And when I look at it, it is both for my upstream, downstream customers. So the concept of both external and internal customers is very, very important when you look at operational excellence. And also it's a way to move from just satisfying a customer to move notch to go towards the customer delight.
Okay. Kiara?
That's great. They have told everything. Just one keyword as a buzzword or whatever Niranjan was telling. It's about sheer discipline, a Gemba approach, and a will to resolve problems involving all these SQPDCM at each and every workstation or each and every mission or each and every place which generates value. So again, top to shop. The top floor to shop floor. If the shop floor can reflect in the top and vice versa, it is done.
Right.
PQ, SQ, PDCM at each and every workstation and each and every with rigor, discipline, and will to change. That's it.
Rigor, discipline, and will to change. Thank you.
So I'll just add some more to it. So when we drive manufacturing excellence, the role of leadership becomes very important, and the concept of inverted organization comes into picture, where we see leadership not at the top of the organization but at the bottom of the organization, because they are there to support the front lines, whether it is, let's say, manufacturing or sales. They are the people who touch the products, make the products, and the sales is one who are in the touch of customers. So leadership has to give all the support necessary to the frontline people to make any such initiative for manufacturing excellence to become successful.
Great. Subhabrata?
Yeah, I think if you make a turtle diagram of manufacturing excellence, so I think efficiency is measured by how your OE is improving, and effectiveness will be monitored what value you are adding to the customers.
Oh, wonderful.
Right.
Abhishek?
So I think everything has been spoken. As you rightly said, there is a masterclass which has happened on operational excellence. I'll just pick one line which you have mentioned there, where the ecosystem wins.
Right.
I think it's the entire ecosystem that has to work towards operational excellence. Then only we can really talk about excellence in
And that is what even Bhushan mentioned when he spoke about stakeholder management and communication management, right? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Wonderful, guys. I will not hold back the audience because I know we are all hungry. But we have 2 quick sessions. छोटा session है इसके बाद, बहुत interesting है. I'm sure you will love that. But let me congratulate and compliment each one of my panelists for sharing their wonderful insights. Thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause for all of them. And I would request Abhishek to felicitate all his fellow panelists. Yeah.
We would like to felicitate Mr. Bhushan Badgujar for joining us today. A big round of applause. Up next, Ms. Kavita Kaushik. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Mr. Krishnan Ramachandran. Thank you, sir. Mr. Ghosh. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Vishwajit Singh. A quick group photograph. Yeah, with the plug. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting us on our flagship event.